What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Boys Are Back in Town podcast. My name is Dustin. I'm here with my co-host.
Hey guys, it's Brett.
So if you're new around here, here's how we go down around things. First, we start off with our starts and sits. Then we get into our play of the week. And then we jump into our game picks and game recap. But this week, we're going to throw in the who's on bye. There's a lot of people on bye this week. So you want to get into that?
Yeah, so another big bye week. First one was in week 7, I believe. We got the Ravens, the Bills, the Bears, the Raiders, the Vikings, and the Giants. So that, takes out four quarterbacks that are playable.
Tommy DeVito, give me 5.
At least 4 or 5
Phillips.
running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 8 receivers.
Yeah, it's a bloodbath for some people like me.
Yeah.
So it's been tough.
Yeah, for sure. So that's why I think, these underrated guys will be forced to start, and especially in like DFS and stuff like that, you can get a lot of value because there's just not a lot of options.
Yeah. You want to jump into our starts and sits?
Yeah, my first start's going to be Tua. He's been fairly inconsistent this year with 5 games below 15 fantasy points and then 4 games above 22 fantasy points. But the Commanders have allowed the most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks with an average of 22.2. So, that's a good amount for a quarterback. And with the healthy Waddle and Hill, which Hill's hand is a little messed up, but he played fine all last week and everything. But this could be Tua's best game yet. So I like Tua a lot this week.
Yeah, I always like Tua, especially this week. He's got a pretty decent matchup. Mine's not going to be so. I like Gardner Minshew this week. So I really think he can get it done against the Titans. If you look back a couple weeks ago, whenever the Jags played them, Trevor Lawrence absolutely torched him, had probably his best fantasy game of the year. And since Gardner Minshew he has shown to get it done on his legs as well. He can get like Trevor Lawrence, not a guy that can get it done on his legs, but he had 2 rushing touchdowns against the Titans defense. So I think Gardner Minshew can get a little scrappy with it and probably put up a nice little 30-piece McNugget for us.
No, I do love the Colts this week. Not going to have JT, so Zach Moss should fill in fine either way. But yeah, my next start's going to be Ramondre Stevenson. He's had over 100 yards from scrimmage, rushing and receiving, in 3 straight games and at least 4 targets in each of the last 6 games. So his usage is definitely up from what it was at the beginning of the season. And then he's also had 20 rushing attempts in each of his last 2 games. So, like I said, the usage is way up. Zeke's usage is coming back down. And then the Chargers allow 21.1 fantasy points per game to running backs. So if Ramondre Stevenson gets his 80% workload, then I think he could have a pretty good week.
Here we go, Brett picking on the Chargers defense again. I was waiting until we got back to this. It was bound to happen sooner or later.
They're bad. Like,
they are really bad.
I love the Chargers team. I believe they're a good team. But the defense when you look at the stats,
It's unbelievable. Almost anytime we pick someone to start against the Chargers, they have a career day.
Yeah,
so,
it's great.
We got to keep hitting on them. So, my start's going to be Devin Singletary. So, I'm a huge believer in C.J. Stroud right now. And a safety blanket for Stroud last week was Devin Singletary. If you are playing in a PPR league, this cat got 7 targets and 6 receptions last week. And on top of his normal workload of rushing, he has the ability to go for 2 weeks ago. He had 150. The week before that, he had like 112. Last week, he didn't rush for a whole lot. But like I said, he did have 7 receptions for 50 some odd yards. That's just something you can't look over in a PPR league. I love running backs that get involved in the passing game.
Yeah, no, I like him a lot. I don't know. Yeah.
It's against the Broncos, which makes it a little bit harder on the rush, but I do like him in the passing game, which is my reasoning behind that.
Last week, Dameon Pierce come back, and they kind of split the workload, but Singletary looked so much better either way. So I think he should be good. And the Broncos aren't great against the run, so Yeah, I like
The Texans do not believe in Damian Pierce, okay?
No.
We've established this. They don't believe in him at all, so yeah, no.
it. Yeah, my
Give me
next start,
Singletary all day.
Josh Downs. Go with your Minshew pick. I also like
Yes,
Michael
sir.
Pittman, but Pittman's pretty obvious. If you have him, you're starting him because he's just been the definition
He's
of
been
average.
dominant, yes, sir.
Like, he averages so good. But they're playing the Bucks, and they allow 32.8 fantasy points per game to wide receivers, which is the fourth highest. And last week was Downs' first healthy week since week 8. If you go look at his snaps and stuff, he hasn't been healthy. He hasn't been playing a lot. So he led the team in targets, tying Pittman with 13. And with Tampa being the 6th toughest on running backs and no Jonathan Taylor, I really think Josh Downs could see another 10-plus target week and maybe get a little bit bigger yardage to show for it.
Yeah, I like Downs a lot. I think he was my waiver wire pickup back in week 4. I said this cat is going to be the guy. He's kind of turning out to be that way, so that's a good call way back. This one, I'm super happy that he's finally getting legs this season. I'm starting Christian Watson this week, so it'll kind of pair along with my play of the week. We can get into that later. But I think Jordan Love has found his wide receiver 1 and maybe even the 2 and the 3. He loves all of his wide receivers right now, and he's playing great. And it's good to see. Last week he had 5 receptions, 94 yards, and a tutty against a good Detroit Lions defense. So I really think Christian Watson can do some unspeakable things to the Chiefs secondary.
Yeah, I had Christian Watson all season. Had him. Finally just got fed up. Jaden Reed was looking better than him. Everything. Dropped him. Thanksgiving Day, 20-something points, Picked him back up, thankfully. So got him back on the roster. I do like Christian Watson. I like any of those Packers receivers this week.
Dobbs, Jaden Reed, get them all in there.
Get him in there. My next start is Taysom Hill, and he hasn't let me down yet. But the Saints will most likely be without Olave and Rashid Shaheed. And with Michael Thomas on IR, they put them down to the rookie A.T. Perry as the wide receiver 1 or Lynn Bowden Jr. So I assume Hill should have a very high usage day for rushing and receiving, being the only continuity that Derek Carr might have other than Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that the Saints can get at least one of their wide receivers healthy this week. I need Rashid Shaheed or Chris Olave to play. Otherwise, I'm in a world of hurt this week. I have nobody. I need some help. So, I think I need the Saints training staff to get on it. Need them to whip out the massage guns, do whatever they got to do, get those guys
Chris Olave
healthy.
is a concussion, so...
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, like I said, I'm only seeing the questionables on there. They still have a chance to play, but Rashid Shaheed's got to get healthy for me. It was my start last week. I still love him. I like Cade Otton. I really, really like his matchup this week. I'm going to have to spot start him over Dalton Kincaid because the Bills are on a bye. So I really need to see something against this Panthers team. I need the Bucks to really check it down to my boy Cade Otton at least 10 times, really put him on there, get him a couple red zone targets for us. But he's been seeing a decent workload, 8.5 points, 8.9 points. These are decent tight end numbers for what we're having for a tight end season. So I like Cade Otton.
Yeah, no, I don't mind Cade Otton. I was going to pick him up if you didn't, but I saw that you had already had him picked up, so I couldn't because I saw Trey McBride went to questionable dealing with a thigh or groin issue or something like that. And Otton was no longer there, so I think I picked up Juwan Johnson to match with the Taysom Hill start because someone already has Taysom Hill.
Nice.
But let's go ahead and get into our sits. We're going to sit Matthew Stafford. And I know it's hard to sit a QB with the 4 notable QBs on bye, 5 if you count Tommy DeVito. And it's hard to sit a guy who just had 24 fantasy points last week. But the Browns are the toughest matchup for QBs, only allowing 12.6 fantasy points per game, which is crazy low. But other than last week, he hasn't had more than 17 fantasy points in a game at all this year, and he's only missed 1 game.
Yeah, and he's playing the best defense in the league, like you said. There's really not a whole lot You just got to hope for a prayer for most of your. If you got to start Higbee, or you got to start Puka Nakua, or even if Cooper Cup comes back healthy. I don't know if where he's at. I haven't
Yeah,
really been
he's
checking up on
healthy.
the Cooper Cup
Yeah,
healthy.
he's healthy.
Yeah, you just got to hope that they still get their reps with that tough Browns defense. My sit is probably going to be like I was telling Brett earlier. This might be the most controversial sit, and it might also be the worst sit on the show so far. We don't know yet. I'm sitting Jalen Hurts against the 49ers this week. So if you look back whenever the 49ers played the number one quarterback this year in fantasy football, Dak Prescott, they held that cat to 7 points. And Jalen Hurts really only gets his money back on fantasy from the 1 yard line. So I'm going to go ahead and sit him this week because I don't think he's going to get too many reps from the 1 yard line.
Yeah, no, the 49ers are a very tough defense, and I'm afraid Hurts is going to be able to throw on him a little bit, but I think they will keep his rushing down, and maybe they won't get him on the one and give him an easy tush push, hopefully.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's pretty controversial for sure. To match
Let's see a
your
7-pointer.
Jalen Hurts sit, I'm going to go with a DeAndre Swift sit, which you may also not
I
like.
that. No, I haven't said it this week.
49ers allow the fourth least fantasy points per game to running backs at 14.9 points. And in this NFC Championship rematch, we could see a tough defensive game or a shootout. And either way, Swift will be the odd man out when it comes to usage. And he has not been very involved in the pass game since week 6 and has scored less than 10 fantasy points twice in the last 3 weeks. So I really thought Swift was like a pass catching running back, and the Eagles don't use him as such. So yeah, he's a sit for me.
Yeah, my only time I'm happy with Swift is whenever they give him like the 10+ touches mark, and they just never do that for some reason because they just that's not their guy, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, it's frustrating as a Swift owner, but we'll deal with it. My sit's going to be A.J. Dillon. Obviously, if Aaron Jones comes back this week, it's going to be a little more obvious, but he has still not practiced yet, and it is Wednesday. So if A.J. Dillon does get the workload, I don't think that the Packers go through him to win the ball game. They're going to have to get it done through the air with Jordan Love and those Packers receivers. And they even might, I think they ran Jaden Reed a couple times to get some speed out of the backfield. So, yeah, I don't like A.J. Dillon at all.
Yeah, no, A.J. Dillon was my sit last week, and they're giving the receivers as much running attempts as A.J. Dillon. So, yeah, no, I'm not
That's
a fan.
what I'm saying. They're adding some speed out of there.
To sit with my Matthew Stafford, I've got Cooper Kupp. Never in the world I thought we'd be sitting Cooper Kupp, but here we are. The Browns only allow 20 fantasy points per game to wide receivers, which is the second toughest in the league, and Kupp hasn't scored more than 6 fantasy points in a game since week 6. And he's played every game. Last week, he played 88% of the snaps and still only received 5 targets from Stafford's 33 pass attempts. And Stafford also threw 4 touchdowns last week, and Kupp only had 1 red zone target. So I'm avoiding him and Puka until they prove me otherwise, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to have to – that Rams offense got to get something going. I really think they have the ground threat with Kyren Williams coming back. They have at least – going to be able to have a duality offense to where like they can at least not Matthew Stafford's going to pass this whole time. So yeah, they're going to have to definitely show something, and we'll see. It's probably not going to be pretty this week against the Browns. No. I never thought I'd sit somebody playing the Chargers defense, but when it comes to the receiver, I'm sitting Demario Douglas. I do really like this guy, but he didn't really show me a whole lot last week against the Giants. And with a quarterback controversy still in the mix, they said it could be Malik Cunningham or Bailey Zappi throwing the rock this week. I don't think they picked one, but Mac Jones is definitely not going to be the guy. So the guy who has built up the most rapport with Mac Jones has been Demario Douglas. So as soon as Bailey Zappi got in the game, he only threw to Devontae Parker. So I'm not really a big fan of Douglas this week.
No, and I think he got hurt last week, concussion maybe. So that one may end up being
Yeah,
pretty
I mean, he
obvious.
was kind of in and out, but yeah,
Yeah.
it said, I'm pretty sure I checked up on him. It said he returned to practice today, limited. I thought anyway, but I could have been reading another guy. Yeah,
no telling.
might be obvious. Who knows?
No telling. I'm just gonna keep picking on this Rams offense. You gotta sit Tyler Higbee. The Browns are the toughest team against tight ends, almost toughest against everything. And they only allow 4.8 fantasy points per game to tight ends. And that's a bum week if someone gets that. And Higbee hasn't been fantasy relevant all season. But last week, he scored 2 touchdowns with 5 catches for 29 yards. I would just say do not chase that 20 fantasy point week he had and look at the rest of his games this year, and they're not good at all.
Man, that is 3 sits.
3 Ram sits.
3 straight Ram sits.
And honestly,
that is rude,
I don't feel comfortable about starting Kyron Williams, but I mean, I think he had 200 yards from scrimmage last week, so you got to start him.
Yeah, I know. So I mean, yeah, if it's a guy that, especially with all the bye weeks going on, since I don't have a tight end sit, I'm going to go ahead and piggyback off your Ram sits. I'm going to go ahead and sit Sean McVay this week. I think he's going to have a real tough time against the Browns defense. So we're going to go ahead and sit the head coach position. I know everybody's got that in their fantasy league. So
Yeah, you got to sit him.
yeah, you got to have the head coach. Yeah, got to sit that cat.
No good.
Yeah. So you want to jump into our play of the week? I think we're going to have some fun this week.
Yeah, I had one, and I really just talked myself out of it, and I just don't know.
Is it because of something I said?
No, I just kept thinking about it, and I talked myself out of it, and gosh.
You're going to have to let us know what the original pick is now. I got to know personally.
I think the under 34 points in the Falcons-Jets game is a lock.
Oh, easy.
Yeah. The Falcons don't score a lot of points anyway, and the Jets are a very good defense. And I could really see that game, being downright awful. But under
that game
34
could literally
points,
end 3-7.
Yeah, under 34 points looks pretty good for me. The OG pick was Colts money line. And I know it's not flashy or anything, but I don't know. I can't pick against the Titans when they're playing the Colts. So, yeah.
Minus 118 for the Colts does look pretty juicy. I know I'm putting that in a parlay, but that under 34, that's a big lock, especially on a noon game. Yeah. That stadium's going to be empty. It's going to be great. Here we go. My play of the week, Sunday Night Football, Packers in Lambeau. Give me Go Pack Go for plus 220. I'm rolling. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid of the Jordan Love community. I'm there. I'm bought in. Show me something. I think they get it done. 2 weeks in a row against good teams.
Yeah. Green Bay. No, Chiefs are going to kick their ass. I don't see this being even a game. No.
They're lucky they got it fired up and going against the Raiders in the second half.
See, I think that second half...
It was almost really bad.
I do think that second half was the best thing for the Chiefs this season. I loved the first half.
Yeah, they needed it to get their offense going, but I really don't... If they come out flat, Jordan Love is going to stick it to him in Lambeau, and it's going to be cold, it's going to be gritty, and I'm bought in for it. Give me the Packers. I'm there. You want to go ahead and recap our last week?
Yeah,
let's Thanksgiving recap.
Yeah, we were looking real good. Started off 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4 in the first, Thanksgiving and then the Friday game. But I ended up going 12-4, putting me up to a total of 117-63. And then you ended up going 9-7, ended up 91-89, back up above that 500 mark. So, yeah,
I got hoed by a 57-yard Amendola, bad spot. All right, if that was an inch closer, the Stroud pleaser would have had himself another game tying drive. All right, and I'm not upset. I'm pissed.
Yeah, we went on.
So
We
let's
went
get
on.
her
A,
going.
yeah, we went on a stretch there. Jags, Texans, Rams, Cardinals, Broncos, Browns, Eagles, Bills. I picked them all right. You picked them all wrong.
It's just so annoying.
But you
man.
caught one back on me on Monday night, picking the Bears over the Vikings.
Yeah, dude, never doubt. Justin Fields, no touchdowns, W.
That was
The
a
first no
ass
touchdown
cheeks
W
game.
I think I've ever witnessed. Yeah, that was awful. So tomorrow, pretty big game for you guys, in my opinion. I mean, you guys are the heavy favorites, but we got the Seahawks versus the Cowboys. I know who you're gonna pick. Let me hear.
We're gonna go Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cowboys, and I love the over 47.5 there. It's a high one, but I love it.
Yeah, no, it's going over.
You say that, but it's the Thursday primetime Blues. Nobody plays good on Thursday. I'm surprised that line is as high as it is.
Yeah, now you say that. Like
I might hit the under.
Like
I might hit the under.
We hit like a 24-17 game, 24-21 game.
Still under.
It's still under.
I think I'm going to take the under there. I'm going to revert that back. I forgot we're playing on primetime. Nobody's allowed to play good per Roger Goodell on Thursday night.
Yeah.
They said everyone play like shit.
I said fuck Amazon. Fuck Amazon.
Fuck Amazon, bro. For real. Next game, we got the Cardinals versus the Steelers. I think this one's pretty
Yeah,
easy.
I'm gonna go
take the
Steelers, yep.
I do like the plus 5.5 on the Cardinals. I do believe K1 could come and win that thing. The Steelers got to get the offense going, but it's against the Cardinals. Can't really do much there.
Yeah.
Next game, we got the Falcons-Jets, probably the worst game that will never be on anyone's TV unless you're in Atlanta or in Jersey. Not even New York, in Jersey, bro. Who you got?
I really think the Jets can win this game. But yeah, I'm gonna go Jets. I think this is a game Jets can win.
Okay, I'm going to go Falcons. I have zero faith in Tim Boyle. I hope Brees Hall has a game, but I'm not going to put my money on it. Give me the Falcons. Next game, we got the Dolphins versus the reigning passing leader, champ, Sam Howell and the Commanders. Who you got?
I'm going Dolphins.
Yeah, me too. The Commanders are ass cheeks. We own them.
Yeah.
Next game, Chargers versus the Patriots.
Oh, Chargers, 100%.
Yeah, quarterback controversies are never a good thing, but the Chargers are 4-7. Same record as the Giants. So go ahead and give me the Chargers here. No way they're that bad. I don't believe it. They're just not playing great. They're ass, kind of, but it's fine. Next game, we got the Broncos versus the Texans.
Yeah, I do like the Broncos. I'm gonna go ahead and go Broncos. I'm locking it in.
I'm gonna split from you there. Give me the Texans. And yeah, we'll just take the Texans there. I don't really like that over-under. I think that's pretty bad for an over-under. 47.5, no thank you.
Yes, avoid that one.
Next game, I bet this one's a good one. We got Lions-Saints.
That's actually going to be a much better game than people think, but
Yeah.
the Saints aren't going to be able to get the passing game going very well. So I am going to go Lions either way. I would go Lions even if the Saints were healthy.
Yeah, go ahead and give me the Lions. They're going to have a bounce-back week. I bet they just run the ball like crazy, run the ball all over the Saints. Yeah, that's my... Colts versus the Titans. I picked the Colts already. I think you picked the Titans already.
No, I'm going Colts.
Oh.
Yeah,
You said earlier you
no.
can't pick the
I just
Titans.
can't.
Oh.
I don't want to bet it. Like, I don't trust that the Colts will beat the Titans, but I think the Colts should beat the Titans.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, both on Colts there.
Yeah.
That was the last noon game. First 3 o'clock game, we got the Panthers versus the Bucks.
Oh, Cody wants us to pick the Panthers so the Bucks will win, but I ain't picking the Panthers for shit.
I can't. I got to go Bucks. And I'm going to take the -5.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Almost one of the lower over-unders at 37.
I feel like I would want to take that over, but I bet it'll go under.
Yeah, I bet it will. It's going to be a defensive game. Next game, this one I am just juiced up about, man. We got the Niners versus the Eagles. Don't say it.
No, we're going Niners.
Attaboy.
But
we're going Niners.
Honestly, I'm surprised that they're favorites.
They're the better team.
Yes, but like, I don't know. I'm just surprised they're the favorites, honestly.
Give me the Niners, and I do like the over 47. I bet that's a shootout.
It's possible.
Next game, we got the Browns versus the Rams. I'm going to go with the underdog Browns at plus 150. Defense wins championships.
Yeah, I don't like any of the Rams players this week, but I don't feel like I can pick DTR to... Or no, DTR got hurt. It could be PJ Walker.
I think it's PJ
or
Walker
Joe
is back.
Flacco.
Ooh, Flack Daddy.
Even if it's Flacco, I think the Rams will win either way.
All right. Well, no. Give me the Browns. Sunday night football. You already heard my pick. Go, Pat, go. What do you got to say?
No,
you
yeah,
think your Chiefs?
yeah, for sure, Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm getting the game back on you there. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, champ.
You probably are.
Monday night football. I'm really not excited about this one. I just really wish this game would have been a healthy game. This could have been a really good game.
Yeah, this was a healthy game. This would have been crazy. I'm sure that over-under would have been 51.5.
50, yeah. It would have been a monster game. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Jags. Give me the Jags at home.
Yeah, Jags, they're going to win the game. I don't know if they'll win by 9. That's kind of a crazy spread, but...
Yeah, the Jags don't win by 9.
Yeah, no.
That's not true, but
Yeah.
that's not a thing they do.
Yeah.
I think that is all we got. Is that all you got? You want to hit any closing statements?
Guys, just, if you watch this, go drop a like, subscribe if you're not already. And let's just get this thing going.
Yeah, I mean, we're almost 200 subs. That's huge. We're building a community over on Twitter. We're posting kind of daily questions, trying to get engaged and talking to people. So that's been a good time. I really think that we're building a good community on Twitter. TikTok, always. It's blowing up kind of. I think we're almost to 2K followers.
Close.
Really trying to hit that 10K mark. It would help us out a lot. So like he said, if you are new, hit the subscribe button and drop us a like. Let's try to get this one back over 10 likes. We haven't hit that in a couple weeks. And that's all I got.
Yep. Peace.